I've been talking a lot about the child dependent and care credit, and those changes that are being made with there, and maybe some of the things you guys have been missing out on. But there are things you should keep in mind before letting any outside person into your home. My name is Paul Vazquez with Tax Lab, and you need to become an ethical millionaire. So whether you're talking about a babysitter, a cleaner, a repair person, somebody who's doing some painting, some refurbishing, whatever that is, that you're inviting somebody into your home, you should probably be aware of many things. A lot of it has to do with liability, and while with taxes we don't always focus on liability issues, there are some tax type of things that have kind of liability stuff attached to it. For example, a lot of people, when you're going through estate planning and you're trying to move your assets out of your name and into your trust in order to reduce probate taxes, right? Here we're talking about some tax planning strategies. Part of what happens when you move your assets into a grantor trust is that you create some anonymity, right? And so when you are inviting these contractors into your house, and maybe they're looking for a little bit of a way to, they notice all your stuff and they say, this person maybe has some money. Maybe there's some liability I can generate here, right? If they're looking to take advantage of you, one thing they may do, and what their attorney might do, is search the records and see who owns that home. Now, if that home is in the name of a trust, it's not clear that you own that home and that suing you for what you did or what you've done to cause them harm in the home you're living in, they might not be able to attach the home to those, right? There's questions at that point as to who owns that home, because the name on the public record for the homeowner isn't your name, it's the name of a trust. Now, of course, you wouldn't want to put the trust in, you wouldn't want to call it the Paul Vazquez Trust or your name. You want to have a different name, of course, than your own personal name, because then that ruins that opportunity, right? So you want to create some distance between you and any possible losses that you could suffer because of somebody working in your home. And so oftentimes, of course, we think it's a smart idea to ask for a W-9 at least, whether this is the babysitter or not, because you're going to have reporting requirements if you're going to do the child tax independent care credit. So you're going to have some requirements on reporting. And in fact, a lot of times, if you have what are they called, these in-home workers, which are fees that also classify very often, not always, but often also classify for the child independent care credit, you're actually required to 1099 these individuals if they're not on a payroll that you operate for the management of your home. You're supposed to be, if that work is consistent, you're supposed to be sending them a 1099 anyway, so you need that W-9 to do that. So there's just a long list of things that you should be thinking about before letting anybody into your home. Now, a lot of these things are going to be mirrored in the child tax independent care credit. And we're going to be talking more about this in the future. So a good thing to do is, if you want to get early access to documentation, to the types of things that you should be doing, and the rundown of that, go to lab.tax, click on advisory services, and in the notes there, mention this, that you're looking for more information about how to get the child tax independent care credit. And if you're one of those providers, we're actually putting together a list of house cleaners, cooks, babysitters, those who come into the home, because that child tax independent care credit, a part of that could be going to offset, the credit could go to offset the fees that you're charging. And so you want to make sure that you're willing and able to do the things that we're going to be saying people should be required. So you might want to get, not only understand what it is we're telling people, but you might want to get on that approved list. And so if that's the case, if you're a provider, same thing, but put on there, care provider or cleaning service or whatever it is on there, so we can kind of gauge, why you're contacting us and put you in the right pile to make sure we get you the right information. So there's a lot of great stuff out there. If you examine the tax code, it shows you multiple pathways to wealth, because those rules would not exist if there wasn't money to go after. So if none of those things apply, but you still want a personalized plan to help you plot a course to becoming an ethical millionaire, go to lab.tax, click on advisory services, and let us know that you want that comprehensive consult. I wish you guys all the success.